Hey, it's John Hope Bryant, founder of Operation Hope, entrepreneur. I'm about to explain the difference between, um, well, an employee and a small business owner or an entrepreneur. Let's keep it simple and say an employee versus a small business owner. I'm going to explain that difference. But here's something controversial I'm going to say to you. No matter what difference I explain and which role I put you in this explanation, I want to challenge you. Write comments in the notes. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. I'm happy to respond to you. Go toe to toe. I love math because it does not have an opinion. This stuff is sort of just, it is what it is. But happy to have this conversation with you. But let me say something really sort of controversial. Everybody's a capitalist. Some people say, "Oh, I don't like capitalism." Oh, yes, you do. It's like saying I don't like rich people. No, everybody, people say, "Oh, I don't like rich people." You don't like rich people till you become rich, okay? What you don't want is a gamed system, right? A system that seems rigged against you. So let me explain how everybody's a capitalist, but you pick a lane. So if you're an employee, all right, so you're a capitalist. You have human capital. Follow me now. You're human capital. You are human capital, and you are doing a job and being paid. I hope you're being compensated for that job. Is that right? You're being compensated for that job, which means that you're being compensated for your talent, your gifts. That is you participating in a capitalist system. Now, and to break another myth, you say, well, I work for a nonprofit or I work for the federal government. I'm not in a capitalist system. Not true. Where do you think the money for the nonprofit came from? Okay, you say, well, it came from the government. Where do you think the money from the government came from? It came from taxes. Where do you think the taxes came from? Either businesses or individuals paying in their system from what? Their wages. From what? Capitalism and free enterprise. You say, well, no, the majority of employees are government. Not true. Another myth. I'm going to do a whole video on this. 88% of all employees in this country, United States of America, are private sector employees. 12%, give or take, of employees, all employees, are city, state, and the federal government. Did you know that? So we live in a private sector world. Most employees are private sector, and most wealth comes out of the private sector. Now, let me go back to which slot you're in. So if you work for somebody, and the reason this is so funny is that somebody worked for me, and I'm not going to name their name. They're very close to me. I love them very much. I got into a thing with them this week because they work for me, and I pay them a wage. And then I asked them to do something else for me, and they wanted to charge me full rack rate for what that would cost if you went to. This was not their job. It was something else I wanted them to do for me. I just tell you, as a family member, I want them to do a favor for me. But I said, I'll pay you for your time. But they want to charge me what that same cost would be at a retail store to get that same thing done. And so my question was this: wait a minute, you can't be an employee and act like a business owner under my sponsorship. So an employee, and this caused me to want to explain the difference. So an employee has a risk-free experience as long as the employer doesn't go bankrupt. So you put in your time from, let's say, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and you go home and you leave the problems to the business owner. You follow me? You go home. Whatever's going on after 5 o'clock, or when you check out, whenever your shift is over, that's not your problem. So the employee says, I want to have quality of life. I want to have vacation. I want to have time with my family. I want to have time for my hobbies. I don't want to stress out about money. I don't want to stress about the success of this enterprise. So I'm going to come and do my job, give it everything I've got, and I'm going to leave. Drop the mic, walk off the stage. That is your right. You get paid X dollars an hour or salary to do that. But your upside is capped. I guess you can tell some people just go to the 4 minute mark of this video. They really want the juice, the 3.5. Your upside is capped because your risk is limited. You follow me? Come on, put in the comments. Let me know you're following this example. Now, if you're the business owner and you're risking your credit, you're risking your livelihood. You're not going on vacation. You're working. An entrepreneur works 18 hours a day to keep from getting a job. So you're working, can't see in the morning and can't see at night. You're stressed out, hopefully not too much, but you're all in and you risk everything on this endeavor. And when the employees go home, you're still there and you're the last one to leave, the first one in and the last one paid, which means that if there's any reward over the paying the bills and paying your employees, who should that flow to? Hello, it should flow to you. So you make major risks, so you get major rewards. So that's where being a business owner, an entrepreneur is a step above that. It's a whole other conversation. But being a business owner, you get the fruits of your labor. So now versus making $80,000 a year as an employee, a highly paid employee, that's in the top 10% of all employees in this country, probably maybe in the top 5%. But if you're the business owner, you can make $250,000 a year in income, and maybe even build some wealth too, because you're taking more risk. But whereas the $80,000 employee is pretty much guaranteed their paycheck, the $250,000 business owner may or may not get that because things may not go his or her way. But business owners believe in what they're doing, so they don't mind doubling down. So you have a capitalist business owner who's benefiting because they have more risk and get more reward. The employee has less risk and has standard reward, set reward, but you're both engaging in the capitalist system. So this relative of mine, member of my family, wanted to get paid an hourly wage. I'm paying all their expenses, right? They also wanted to do this other product for me and charge me rack rate as if I was going to the store. I'm like, you must be out of your cotton picking mind. I'm not going to sponsor the whole enterprise and then have you charge me a business rate. And if you screw this thing up, you don't have risk insurance or whatever to pay for the screw up. But you want the upside, but you don't want the downside, and all your expenses are covered. Now I'm not the government. This is not a socialist system or whatever you want to call it. I'm not your sponsor. That dog don't hunt. So they got the memo, and I said, well, they meant well. They just understand how the system works. I need to explain it, or as we say in the neighborhood I grew up, explain it. So hopefully I explained it really well. Let me know what you think about this video, the difference between an employee and a small business owner. And if you want me to cover any other topics, put them in the comments and note to Sade, S-A-D-E, or Aaron that, hey, John Bryant should cover these topics. I'll try to watch your notes as well. You can actually send my employees an email and give them your suggestions of what you would like me to cover. Love and light. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you're laughing a little bit as you learn. Love and light, John Hope Bryant. And go to Operation Hope today. Make an appointment with one of our Hope Inside locations now at 170 locations across the country. We just announced 10 more locations this week. You can download the Hope in Hand app. Thanks to our partners and sponsors, it's all free to you. And if you want to be a business owner, by the way, go to 1mbb.org, hope1mbb.org, or type in 1MBB in your search engine. It should come up. 1 million new Black business initiative powered by Operation Hope and Shopify. $130 million initiative to stand up 1 million new Black businesses by 2030. This is a movement now. Let's go. We call it civil rights, from civil rights in the streets to civil rights in the C-suites, in the business suites. I'm out. John Hope Bryant.